I want to make this clear. I by no means am I intending to be, or can I be, any spokesman for the Western powers in my talks with Mr. Kruschev. I can be a spokesman only for America and for its government. Nevertheless, I have already suggested that prior to these meetings, I go to meet our friends in Europe and to discuss with them problems of mutual interest. For some time back, I suggested to the State Department that I believed in the effort to melt a little bit of the ice that seems to freeze our relationships between with the Soviets, that possibly a visit such as I now have proposed would be useful. And we studied this thing, and in early July, I initiated the correspondence that finally brought about an agreement. Some of the details, exact details, are yet to be agreed between the diplomatic agencies of our several governments. Now, at this identical time, an identical statement is being issued in Moscow. The President of the United States has invited Mr. Nikita Khrushchev, Chairman of the Council of Ministers of the USSR, to pay an official visit to the United States in September. Mr. Khrushchev has accepted with pleasure. The President has also accepted with pleasure Mr. Khrushchev's invitation to pay an official visit to the USSR later this fall. Mr. Khrushchev will visit Washington for 2 or 3 days and will also spend 10 days or so traveling in the United States. He will have informal talks with the President, which will afford an opportunity for an exchange of views about problems of mutual interest. On his tour of the United States, Mr. Khrushchev will be able at first hand to see the country, its people, and to acquaint himself with their life. President Eisenhower will visit Moscow and will also spend some days traveling in the Soviet Union. This will provide further opportunity for informal talks and exchange of views about problems of mutual interest with the Chairman of the Council of Ministers of the USSR. On his tour of the Soviet Union, President Eisenhower likewise will be able at first hand to see the country, its people, and to acquaint himself with their life. Both governments express the hope that the forthcoming visits will create better understanding between the U.S. and the USSR and will promote the cause of peace. That is the end of the quoted statement. Now, 1 or 2 other items. The visit itself has no direct connection with any possible Western, not in the Western, summit meeting. I, of course, would hope that the mere announcement would inspire the foreign ministers to a greater activity and probably some greater effort at conciliation, so that there might be results before Wednesday, when they temporarily adjourn at least, that would justify the scheduling of such a later meeting. At what time, I don't know. But in any event, even if they have to reassemble, I would hope that they could do that if they found it reasonable and proper.